see. Now let's talk about something that's just a tiny bit more macro in nature. So we begin the day, we're beginning a new work day. It's a clean slate. It's a new opportunity. We're able to create, anything we want in the day. Okay. So we can create as individual outcomes. Like we can say, here's one outcome with bots. Here's an outcome with posting. Here's an outcome with marketing or such and such. We can pick all these different areas and we can pick an outcome, a desired outcome that we want to achieve for today, specifically for today in those areas. And that's fantastic. That's powerful. But then there is a slightly larger context, which is a broader idea of what is my overarching or overall intention for today? What is it that I want today to really be? And that allows your attention and intention to align together, but in a more of a global, more of a Sagittarian type of way, like a bigger picture, you see the bigger lens. Okay. To give a couple examples, my intention for today is to make a significant expansion in our posts on visibility on in the Facebook group to increase visibility or increase engagement today in the Facebook group. I'm just giving an example, right? Or our intention for today is to achieve much more responses on XYZ or whatever it may be. Okay. And I want you to practice. This is a good skill. It's actually a skill that you can practice. So as you practice more and more about, turning tasks into outcomes for when you target your day and when you summarize the end of your day, you can indicate all the specific intended outcomes, and then what were your actual outcomes for the day. So intended outcomes at the beginning of the day, and then actual outcomes at the end of the day. You see how beautiful that is? So you see the actual outcomes, you see, well, how close did I get to my targets? You can have a check mark. So you can say, yeah, I achieved this, and these were all done. These are partially done, but incomplete, need to be done more tomorrow. You see, so you're getting like a scorecard, a very honest and very revealing scorecard of how you did today, right? And a lot of times people don't want to see the actual real results of the day. They want to keep it blurry because they're afraid that they're not doing a good job, or their boss may not be happy with them, or who knows, whatever their various reasons. But look how powerful it is to let go of that fear and simply tell the truth to yourself. Of course, always first to yourself and then tell the truth to others, right? You get the general idea. So I want both of you to start each day with an intention for the day, like a general overall intention for the day. And there is no right intention or wrong intention. It's just your intention. It's whatever you want your intention to be. So it's all made up. It's just your own made up thing. I'm not going to come back and say, oh, this is a bad intention. No, because you're the one creating it. You're the one creating it. Then once you've defined the overarching intention for the day, then you can go in and identify the list of outcomes of your targeted outcomes for today. Okay. And I want you to do that at the beginning of each workday. Then at the end of each workday, you can make a comment about the intention if you like. That's optional. And then a report on what is the status of your distinct outcomes. What happened, which outcomes got achieved, which outcomes got partially achieved, which outcomes didn't get achieved at all and will be continued into the next day. that sort of thing. Okay. So it's a matter of a real, I would call it almost almost a form of radical honesty. Okay, it's a form of radical honesty that few people have, that few people use, because they're people are mostly very fearful and they don't trust themselves, right? And they don't trust themselves and they don't trust that they're going to get anything done. So by blurring the image, they think oh well, I'm going to get away with this because he won't notice, because I'll just talk, in generalities, or very, whatever, blur the image or something, and then he won't know, or she won't know. And that's of course dishonest, if you really, are you're super honest with yourself. Now, what this allows you to do is to become very honest about your own productivity level, and honest about where you're putting your attention and what strategy you're using. Is it working or is it not? What adjustments do I need to make in my strategy or plan or focus of attention in order to get the larger overarching results that I'm looking for? You see, so by having the ability to self-reflect, you see what I mean? You're self-reflecting, which means in your own internal feedback loop. Instead of just having a feedback loop with Howard, or a feedback loop with, whatever, you have your own feedback loop, and you're able to say, oh, I used this method and I got a sort of okay result, but I think I can do better tomorrow if I do it this way, or if I use more of that and less of that. See, so when you give me a report like that, and you're showing me that you're doing your own self-assessment on your own results, on your own productivity, on how you're doing, and on based on your standards, not mine, but based on your standards. And then you're showing me that you're not 100% happy with the results based on your standards, and you're going to make a change because you want to do better tomorrow. Wow. I mean, that's the greatest gift you can give me, because then I see you're taking responsibility for every aspect and every result, and you're a self-improvement, you're in a self-improvement, self-empowerment, uh, you know, uh, mode. You're spinning and you're soaring on the spiral. Now, in life crafting, we use this expression called the confidence success spiral. Have you ever heard that term? I have a really cool graphic. I'll send you, it's a really cool graphic. It was created like 30 years ago, or some insane amount of time ago. But we developed it ages ago. And in fact, when I used to do live events many decades ago, we used to have these big posters in the room, and we put them up on the wall and all that. Anyway, I'll send you the graphic of the confidence success spiral. And the idea, of course, is that every little baby step that you complete, you get, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, you get a boost of confidence at a subconscious level. Okay. You may not notice it. It may seem rather subtle, but it isn't, though. See, because the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a big, 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 big result, or a tiny baby step. It cannot, because it only records the feeling, the underlying feeling that's there. Okay. So if you do 7 or 8 or 10 or 12 super tiny baby steps, and you achieve every single one of them, what's the net result? The net result is huge. It's huge. Okay. And the baby steps add up to a giant result, the giant result.
I
And
I
and
love the
and
baby
a
step.
result that's so dramatic, in fact, that after 10 or 12 baby steps, you cannot even recognize the person that's now emerged, has no resemblance to the person that you started. Okay. Okay. So now I use this technique that I just described to you. I use this technique in CFF, right? Because CFF requires a fairly profound shift in consciousness, okay, in order to get people in CFF to where we really want them to be at the end, like independent, confident, self-assured, self-aware, knowing their value in the global marketplace and being able to go out and talk to people and create profitable alliances, that's huge. That's huge. 99.99999% of the people on the planet do not have that single ability. Okay. Well, that's a very tall order. So, how do we do it? Well, we do it exactly as I just explained with tiny, tiny baby steps. Okay. So, baby steps so small that anyone can do them, right? So, and then they're imperceptible. You can't even tell that they're being done. Okay. But then after three or four, five or six, something starts feeling different. I don't know. There's something different. I don't know what it is. Okay. And then after 12, 15 of them, well, who was that person over there? I don't even know who they were. Right. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay.